Our red-headed hero Misty, after experiencing a humiliated loss and a completely one-sided, even Celia tried his best, but just simply could not take down Steven's sister-type Pokemon. And because of that revelation, Misty will try to battle the gym leader that she has heard recently and determined on defeating this gym as soon as possible so that he could catch up with Steven. As Jasmine that is not sure about that wanting to train before they could challenge the gym leader, but Missy seems to wave it off a bit because she's not worried about her Pokemon being ready, but she needs to be there faster than Steven Stone, as she has made her way through the small island where the gym leader building would be. As Messi tries to enter as a secretary, it seems to push her off the building. It seems to be that Messi finds out this building seems to close as the gym leader is in his some sort of vacation. And Messi is quite angered by this because she knows for a fact it's the Pokemon Gym Leader Circus, meaning that all gym leader would be more active at this time of year. And Messi is quite angered by this, but likely this gets Jasmine to be grateful because she knows for a fact that this certain gym leader might be a struggle for her, and having no other better choice as Misty accepts Jasmine's proposal on training. As Misty and Jasmine went to the beach because it's the biggest spread and most important for Misty to train her water Pokemon for some new water type move. And thanks to her experience as her mother being a water type leader, and not to mention her aunt is a elite four member, and Misty tries to get all three of her Pokemon to learn pretty early strong water moves, giving the Pokemon like Celio and Notet some big improvement. And it seems like Mudkip is slowing down, but even though it's a quite clumsy Pokemon, not as clumsy as Loda, but Misty finds out Mudkip pretty much pick up quick motor moves way faster than Celio because it took for Celio to learn water pause a few weeks, but Mudkip seems to learn the water technique pretty fast, and Misty is also quite with knowledge of a water Pokemon trainer, and knowing Mudkip has some talents deep in the mudfish Pokemon. As Jasmine, on the other hand, is a bit more wary on sending out Onyx, thinking it might attack because it got captured. But to her surprise, Onyx seems to quite friendly with her. Not an expected ton of offense, but luckily Onyx is not really aggressive as a Pokemon species, which allows her and Onyx to grow a bond a bit faster, but not as close her and Iron. And thankfully, we're having another tag partner, and not to mention her knowledge with rock type Pokemon, thanks to her tutelage with the gym leader Roxy. But Misty is quite surprised as Jasmine is doing a really weird some sort of training as the two are just tackling each other repeatedly, and Misty questions this, but Jasmine is trying to prepare her Pokemon against certain types they might struggle against, and Misty is unsure what to talk about but simply just shrugs that if she's going to do that all day, Misty will just focus on her Pokemon getting more stronger. After a few good hours of hard work training, the true ladies are about to leave the beach and return to the Pokemon Center, hoping the gym leader might be ready for tomorrow. But in the far distance of the ocean, someone is simply surfing, and not sure who is this guy, but Jasmine can figure out if he is the gym leader because she noticed Roxanne's picture with him, and Missy questions this and quickly realizes the gym leader. And Missy tries to get his attention, but the Brawly simply gets into the beach by waving down. And Missy is asking if he's really the gym leader, and the young man simply gives a thumbs up. That's pretty much me. And Missy clearly wants a gym battle right away, but unfortunately, Brawley has been surfing pretty much all day and he's quite exhausted, but he's not going to disappoint the young rookie as she promised to Misty tomorrow they will have a battle for the both of them. And that's exactly what happens the next day. Once Misty and Broly are across one another and they're waiting for the referee to call out for their Pokemon to be a 2v2 battle, and the gym leader will send out Manatite to battle, and Misty noticed that this fight time seems to be a bit off. It seems to glowing with power and she has a strange feeling but isn't sure what as she sends out her newly captured Pokemon Capia, and the Mudkip eagerly wants to prove itself to be in the party as the Mudkip excitedly already starts a battle before Misty to give a command, and this gives Broly and Manatap the advantage by using a powerful force bomb. As Mudkip tries to tackle it, it simply charges it into Manatap's force bomb as Mudkip took a lot of damage, enforcing back a bit, and this time much more watching carefully with Manhattan, and Missing gets Market to stay calm. His excitement might get them to lose so quickly, and not wanting for that outcome, Market seems to stay calm just a little for Messi to call out the move, but unfortunately it's a bit too late as Manhattan quickly charges in for a powerful force bomb. But luckily, Mudkip can react just fast enough to use a water gun directly at Meditech. Unfortunately, the fighting type has spent many training in the sea, meaning it's much more used to strong water and easily powers through Mudkip and lands another force bomb. And this gets Misty to be a bit mad, but still trying to stay calm because this is the first time battling with the Mudkip. And rather, the most important thing that Misty needs to do is to stay calm for the Mudkip. If she gets panicked, that means the Pokemon will get panicked as well. So we need to stay focused. But luckily, Mudkip isn't fully knocked out. But knowing if Mudkip gets a few more attacks, then it's pretty much out. And this gets my at Misty to get an idea and commanding for a water gun as Manatap confidently pushes through, but all of a sudden the Mudkip simply slaps the ground and using Mud Slap directly to Manatap, and this time to lost its balance with four force palm, and with that miss attack, Mudkip takes the opportunity to land a powerful water at directly behind Metatype. And Messi noticed Metatype is mostly taking on frontally, but it seems like it's weaker at the backside, unguarded, allowing Mudkip to learn a powerful water attack. And Body seems to praise that as, but there's one problem Misty's forgetting. Metatype has more than just one move, as he commands for Metatype to use Confusion. As the detective Meta-type Pokemon simply close eyes all of a sudden, and Mudkip is getting directly hit by powerful confusion, which gets Misty surprised not knowing that a fighting type is capable of using a second type. And this is where Broly puts on that Meta is actually part psychic, which makes his attack even stronger, which gets Misty quite worrying but still strong and quickly has an idea and calling for Mudkip to land a powerful water gun on the ground. And Mudkip isn't too confidently, but he is excited to whatever that his trainer wants her to do, as she commands a powerful water gun which allows him to be in the air momentarily with a powerful momentum and jotting down with another water gun. And this time, even though Manta type could see the target move, unfortunately the Manta type is giving it a huge disadvantage, not knowing where it might hit. So throwing caution to the wind, planning a powerful force bomb, which is unfortunate as Mate takes another powerful tackle attack, which allows Misty to knock out Meta but very barely winning from that attack, as Mudkip is also quite dizzy from the outcome, getting Misty to quite worried, and Jasmine and the other watching the battlefield is kind of disappointed that Misty is just sending out his new Pokemon not knowing what it's capable of. She is such a redhead, as Roy simply returns his Pokemon and simply constantly sending out Meta Makurita to battle. But looking at Mudkip looking very tired, Misty decided it's better if Mudkip does do some dash as much he can before he gets knocked out. So Misty confidently commands for another water gun. But to her surprise, Mercury doesn't try to use her Manatap tackles on the water move, but instead stands still and gets pumped up by using a powerful bulk up from Broly. And this gets Misty quite confused, not sure what it does, but she doesn't matter as she doesn't want to waste any opportunity on free hits as she commands water gun after water gun. This does some damage, but after each water gun, Mercury seems to be more bulky and bulky, which leaving Missy just as confused as Mercury then charges forward, which surprisingly is quite slow, which gives Mudkip to do another tackle attack. But unfortunately, that's a big mistake because Mercury at the same time is using a powerful arm thrust as it uses its arm thrust one strike after another strike multiple times, getting Mudkip to be so critically damaged that it's simply knocked out after one move. And Misty is quite shocked by this and returning Mudkip back. And quick engagement from the crowd calling out Misty for being an idiot because Makuride is using Boka, meaning its defense is higher and its attack increases, and she'll just let Makurita did that freely 3 times, meaning Missy is going to have a heart attack, and Missy subconsciously slamming her hand to her face, being an idiot. She should have seen this coming, and also, and he just saw some these types of move, but she didn't really listen, and she's going to have a much more harder time because of that. But unfortunately, even though her Celio is quite strong, she doesn't have the confidence being part ice type, and not sure if her Celio could ready up against Makurita. But the problem is Makurita it seems to be too strong for her low that meaning it's really Celia's best choice, even if it's the worst, as she sends out Celia to battle, as the water Pokemon confidently is ready for the battle. Without any wasting other time, Mercury charges in with a powerful force bomb, trying to paralyze the water Pokemon. But to its surprise, Celia seems to take the damage, even if it's powered up and simply lands a powerful water pulse directly to Makurita. And this time Makurita actually has to be ready for attack, allowing it to get on the scale but still took major damage. But luckily for Celia, he's facing up against a much slower, which is not too used to that, but Gaddy takes the opportunity to use another powerful icy wind, slowing down Margarita just enough to land another water but unfortunately it doesn't do any some sort of damage towards what Margarita and then landing a powerful arm thrust 1, 2, 3 strikes at it and seemingly this does seems to almost knock out Celia, but Misty is almost scared by this. But to share was Celia isn't knocked down that easy, which actually gets everyone surprised. Even Misty herself not knowing her starter Pokemon is capable of handling such punishing, and Celia just looks at saying, "Hey, we're not done yet. We can still win it." And after Misty is shaken off from her starter's talk as Messi finds her confidence back, and this is what gets Broly quite excited here because it's finally having an interesting battle here as he commands for Makarita to do another uh, bulk up. This time wanting to finishing off here for another attack. Unfortunately, Messi won't making the same mistake twice as he commands for a powerful body slam, but not to get up to stay on top of Makurito. And Celio is taking a free hit with a powerful body slam. And not to mention, there's something happened. Mercury is struggling to get up, and that's just not just because of Celios's weight on top of it. It seems is really struggling to get up, and noticing Mercury is being paralyzed, which gives Misty a huge break. And this led for Sheila to grin devilishly, knowing he has the upper hand and landing a much more powerful water pulse. Water pulse after water pulse, and Brody tries to get Makuri to get off of him, but unfortunately, the combiner of paralyzed and unconscious of point blank water pulse seems to be too much for Makurita, and because of it, it does seems to knock out Makurita, leaving Misty to be the winner here. Once Misty has earned her second badge, and the next battle is Jasmine's turn. But unfortunately for Jasmine, it didn't go well like Misty because two of her Pokemon are pretty weak to Broly's Pokemon, allowing Broly to easily put them down with its fighting type moves, like with her with his strong Pokemon Makurita, which gives Jasmine her first big loss here. And it seems like Jasmine is about to tear up, but simply shakes it off with a big smile, as she knew this was going to happen, but she does know where she stands with her and Broly, and knowing how much she needs to prove, she simply thanks the gym leader and Broly having a fun to insane battle from Misty, and also getting a gutsy win here. Broly simply gives Jasmine a thumbs up as Misty quickly goes to Jasmine, wanting to make sure she's okay, but Jasmine doesn't seem to be quite shaken because this isn't the first time Jasmine was really defeated that badly. And Misty could remember the last time she lost pretty badly, and her first Pokemon battle wasn't even her own Pokemon, and she still uses her mother's Pokemon. This girl thus gives Jasmine to Chalker and points how much of a redhead she is, and Misty is quite angered by that. After the next day, as Jasmine is planning to have the biggest training that she ever had with her Onyx and Aggron here. I mean Aaron here, and Misty has some free time, and being a lady wants to check out the city around the island, finding out there's a good snack here that she has heard about, and she desperately wants to eat it. And once the waiter gives her her food, and she's about to eat it, but unfortunately to her dismay, a Pokemon seems to grab the food in its feet and simply eats it, and finding out it seems to be a Pelipper with its huge goblet. It simply eats the food in the one goblet, and Misty is quite angered by this and sending out Celio to battle as Pelipper is going to fend itself by after stealing Misty's food, and the two Pokemon have a huge battle, but luckily thanks to Celio's ice typing making some problem with Pelipper's movement, even though it has the ability to fly up, but it seems like it's not really a fast Pokemon, even though it's still a pretty faster Pokemon than Silo, but luckily Silo is pretty used to fighting Pokemon that is way faster than it, allowing it to land a powerful water burst and a few icy wind. And because of that, Misty simply catches Pelipper here, no problem. But Misty is still quite angry for that Pokemon because after defeating Pelipper, quickly realizes she pretty much has no other money to get an extra meal because of it. As we plan out to Jasmine as a Pokemon Iron managed to beat Brawly's fighting type Pokemon and has actually earned her second badge. And Broccoli is quite surprised that a trainer like with the type of Pokemon that she has on her would have thinking she could have never defeated her. But he is surprised by Jasmine simply smirks that she is a prodigy, and not to mention a prodigy from Roxanne from the gym leader. And Broly seems to finally realize what she is. It's the Roxy's prodigy, and Roxy just gives a thumbs up and keeps walking on, defeating all the gym leaders. And also Missy also cheers her this, but this does get Jasmine to poke fun of Missy that Jasmine is proving her to be a better trainer than the two, which gets the redhead to be quite mad, which leads into another argument. As Misty and Jasmine has no other reason why to stay on the island and to continue on, and Misty asks the guy that ride them to the island. She asks him, "Is there any nearby gym leader from here?" And Mr. Old man exactly know where it is and drives the two young trainers to the next destination. Over the course of a few days, but they manage to arrive on time. And the old man seems to point out there's a museum on about a legendary water Pokemon. And hearing a legendary water Pokemon. This gets Misty quite beat, and of course gets Jasmine to be frustrated because they're not wanting to change plans and just wants to get to the next destination to their journey. But this gets the two girls to be in an argument. But ultimately, Misty won because she managed to convince her that she might learn something new. And Jasmine, knowing that she loves knowledge, especially the influence of Roxy in as her teacher, gets enough for Jasmine to join her. As the two goes to the the museum and exploring the place and finding all different types of Pokemon, which gets Missy to be quite amazed, but not much for Jasmine. She just wants to learn about. But unfortunately, one they get deeper and deeper, noticing a few guys and girls wearing a similar clothing. It kind of reminds them of that awful group that did attack them few weeks ago, and it seems to get one of the members to listen to the two girls, and the guy simply barges in getting the two girls to talk about more about these other groups. But the two girls, obviously Misty and Jasmine, doesn't want to talk about that too, especially to just a random guy rudely interrupt in the conversation, as this guy simply sends out Hawfish to battle and it trying to intimidate the two to talk about his other team. But unfortunately to his dismay, Misty and Jasmine aren't any other rookie traits, as they send their own Pokemon, as Jasmine sends out Aaron and Misty sends out Lotad to better enough to get the guy to back off and return his crawfish back and basically run between his tails. As this does get one notable figure to be noticed and apologize for his friend here and quite apologize for that. They just because his friend really doesn't like this other group, and she mentions about the magma, and it's exactly what she described as Misty, and Jasmine simply points out that's exactly the group they met a few days. And after getting that information, the guy actually greets them thinking about the information, and Misty wants to know who is she and who are their group, and the redhead just smiles at Misty. Oh, we're a better than Magma than ever. We're Team Aqua. And I think one day you might be a good member, but right now I'm kind of a busy schedule. But unfortunately, this wouldn't be the last time we meet Kid, as the older woman simply runs off, which gets his other friends to spread and get out of the building. And luckily, the scientist has been working on the lab, and she is thankful for the two to get the groups who's been that they are disturbing the facility, and she wants to thank the two young ladies with two items. The Misty at first that wants to decline this gift because she and Jasmine pretty much didn't do anything to help, but the scientist declines and wanting to give these two girls for thanks, as Misty, seeing her loaded, gives her a water stone, and one day it might help her, and the other scientist not sure what she could help a trainer like Jasmine, especially with her rock type Pokemon, and remember something as she gives her a metal coat, and this greatly gets the two girls to be thinking of the scientist. And this is where we're going to end our episode here.